Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8 and Third Reich events installed. We are going to continue here, 1937, as we continue to build up Germany's industry. Uh-oh, Denmark stole our blueprints. Wonder what it was. See, one of the forum postings was AI weirdness or whatever, I forget, in the Black Ice forum. And they're talking about some of the stealing some of these blueprints. Well, in it they had a situation where Luxembourg stole, I think, from Germany coastal defenses. Yeah, Luxembourg needs coastal defenses. Okay, naval strike tactics have advanced. That is good. Okay, so now we've got that to 37. That's great. We're gonna convert that over to slot to anti-tank weapons there. Now let's see, we're going to see if we can sell more to the Soviet Union. Yeah, there we go. As you see, we've got a few more. I mean, we're down at 4.21 ICs per IC built. And it's also shortening our time it takes to build it. Okay, Portugal. Okay, we'll give you fuel, Portugal. We'd like to have good relations with you. Let's see, how is Spain doing? Yeah, the Civil War continues. Republicans, well, they've just lost. Again, been cut off. Soviet Union. Imperials, how are we doing? Yeah, only does. No. Okay, SS Junkerschulen. This is another Black Ice event. They have a lot of really good ones. Yeah, I sort of stuck my own version of the image of it. That's the SS Junkerschule here in Brunswick, as I would know it as Brunswick. Setup. It is, if my understanding is correct, is the older of the two Junker schools, and Paul Hauser was in charge of the overall SS training program. He was an Army general or colonel, I forget, in the Army before he transferred over to the SS. He was sort of one of the exceptions that came over a bit later in life and hadn't moved all the way up to the SS ranks. But he was very much the guy responsible for forming the Waffen-SS as opposed to, the Totenkopf, which is Theodor Eicke, the Ritter SS, which is sort of, is Christian Weber, and various other, the SD, Reinhard Heydrich. Well, the Waffen-SS is Paul Hauser. That's why his picture there. He got the cuff title of the school. And the staff at the school at the proper ranks had SS with a BF Fractor font B for Brunswick. Now, this school gives a very good effect of increased leadership, though more consumer goods to support it. And a massive 5 ICs in Brunswick, and I'm not sure what that refers to. I haven't messed with the event, except I pulled off the stuff for SS Schule Bad Tolts because I have another event that I put in for Bad Tolts. I removed the bad tolts part of this event. But lots of anti-aircraft guns, bases, leadership. Okay, so yes, and obviously we don't have a choice. Well, we did have a choice because we could have. You will only get this if you have the SS Waffen-SS path initiated. If you say no, you won't get this event. So you have that choice. But once you go down that path, you don't have a choice here. All right, so we've got that, which bunch of new capabilities here for Brunswick, and also because of that we now have to because of the greater consumer goods, which I'm presuming means just simply goods going to, I'm going to say, various SS projects, including concentration camps and other things. We're not going to talk about loony. Oh wait, didn't we zero that out? Did I accidentally hit that? Thought we zeroed that out. Maybe I accidentally hit it. Loony things like they didn't exist. No, they existed. We're not going to delve deeply into them. And the SS at this time, now it's obviously more of the Totenkopf things were running the camps. The camps did produce useful things, but I mean that doesn't justify their existence. You know, it's not, well, they're okay because they did do produce full work, but they also cost a lot to maintain as well. And the under Himmler, the SS was building up a state, if you will, within a state that they were, and some of the stuff I'm not going in now because I want to do future events on it. But they go in and buy commercial factories. They go, as the war goes on, build their own armaments factories. They use a different type of rocket than the army does, and other things like this. That they were doing their own stuff. That it was all part of Hitler's power grab within the architecture of the government of the Third Reich, as we were talking about earlier. Okay, well, let's see. We are now. Let's see what we can do. Will they buy? No, they probably won't. Soviets? No, we just. Yeah. Go 10. They'll buy 10 supplies. Good. So as you can see, we are continuing to develop our industrial Germany. Some build-up in the West, obviously where we have concentrated industries. Okay. Yes, we will do it on map. Yes, we will do it on map, the 13th. To motorized infantry divisions, those are useful. 2nd Infantry Division, motorized. That's a late war picture. That's late war half-track rocket system. And by late war, I mean late 44. Forming the Light Brigade. Okay, know a little bit about these. There was a thought to build these light brigades of motorized troops. At this time, there were no, and you can see that's a Panzer III, Panzer II. I think that's also Panzer II, sort of hard to see back there. There weren't, well, there were a few handful of heavy tanks, but they weren't heavy units or light or heavy units so much as in, heavy Panzer units versus light Panzer units. It's more of a the fast lighter unit in the sense of fully motorized, but like only one Panzer battalion, not 4. The standard German Panzer division had 4 battalions at this time, where these I think just had 1 or maybe 2, but they were found once the war was being fought that they didn't have enough sustainability. They didn't have enough supporting assets of infantry elements to them in large enough numbers, and yeah, as I'm reading this here, is a battalion of tanks, and they didn't have enough tanks that they quickly, combat losses quickly wore them down. It wasn't that as formed they were too light, or as my understanding from reading several books by Guderian and others, that they weren't able to do their job initially. They were, because they were sort of meant to be not the major breakthrough elements of a panzer unit, but part of the element that would, form pockets, if you will, surround, maneuver fast, maneuver in the enemy's rear. And they wanted to keep them sort of light, so that, in the sense that they didn't need to carry a lot of extra supplies, fuel particularly, but ammo and everything else, and to keep them very mobile in that sense. But they were quickly ran out of troops. They quickly, and like when forming pockets, spreading them out to hold the area, or through whether mechanical failures or just combat losses, their battalion of tanks were quickly diminished to where they couldn't continue to sustain an offensive. That was sort of the shortcomings that were revealed later on during that. But yeah, we'll take this. It'll later get upgraded as time goes on. So yay, get that. And because of the SS Junkerschule, we've got more chances, or more slots here to research. Yeah, we'll go here. And here. Well, we'll just end it like that. And we need more. We'll do on the Soviet Union. Not yet. Romania. Spanish state want to sell us rare materials? No. Sweden? Turkey might. Oh, good. Let's see. Three's good. See if they'll buy a supply now. Okay, let's just go to the U.S. So the U.S. is just sort of easier to outlay, or still not. Great, let's see. They got extra money? Not really. Okay. Yeah, money, would they like to trade with me? No, they don't like me much. Well, we'll see what comes up. Somebody will. We're digging ourselves a bit more into the whole seat, just as I was hoping. Yep, money, supplies for money, and supplies for money. And Haiti, yeah. Okay, another Flak Regiment Goering. Yes, we will do this. This will start the event chain that will give us the Hermann Goering Division eventually. All the extra units are increasing our Okay, the 4-year plan magazine, that's what that means. Der Jahresplan. 4-year plan. Okay, basically publication helps Condor long-range aircraft, various factories, helps coordinate and promote the 4-year plan and how great it's doing for Germany, so it improves our organization and popularity. Propaganda was something that the Nazis really used heavily to promote up that what they're doing was, good, and reinforce it with you every day, everywhere, every how. And it was believable because it was partly true, but because it wasn't a hellhole like the Soviet Union. I just when you compare totalitarian systems, I mean, it's not like, oh, one's better than the other, and so we should have one over the other. It isn't anything like that. It just, some are more successful than others. National Socialist Germany was more economically successful than Communist Soviet Union. Now, is that because the ideology is better? Or more, better is the wrong term. The ideology is more successful in how to organize the economy. Yes, I think that's part of it. I also think part of it is you're dealing with primitive backwards Russia, you're dealing with advanced Germany. I think Germany would have done much better under a more liberal market economy setup, maybe even under the German nationalists, but would have done much better than what was done under the Nazis. So I think the Nazis, because of their creeping and greater control of the economy, stifled a lot of economic growth, while also causing a lot of economic growth to be happening. It's just sort of like giving with one hand and taking away with the other. If you weren't heavy-handed about it, you could have still developed things like the Autobahn and other major projects that developed the nation, while allowing market influences to also bloom as well. And then we're just talking about economics, not other elements of their ideology. Okay, yes, we can decide to or not support Volksbund and SAP, the National Socialist Swiss Arbeiterspartei, basically Nazis, another Nazi group in Switzerland at this time, compared to some of the other ones that had the cross going all the way to the edges. This one does have the cross going all the way on the Swiss flag, but as we've probably, any of you know about the Paradox Forum, no linking to images with swastikas, because, and I've talked to some of the moderators, they kill a lot of posts, a lot of groups, and some of them they kill and delete with the nuttiness all the time of people bringing up whether it's Holocaust denials or the Nazis weren't so bad kind of things or whatever. And that's why I'm careful about what I say here about good and bad versus, successful in battle doesn't mean we agree with them invading Poland. It just means they did it well, that kind of thing, and stuff that they have to deal with. Well, this is one of the early cases of censorship. As we talked about earlier, Switzerland banned foreign political symbols. Communist hammer and sickle, Nazi swastika. This is a postcard that was sent, I believe, into Switzerland from Germany that had this party symbol, which has the swastika under here in the red. It's a white swastika in a red circle on this. So they had these verboten stamps pre-made up to put on things, and in the post office as it's coming through the customs mail. So they were they were prepared for this. So whether this was mailed domestically or internationally, I am not sure. This particular card that I got the picture of that survives, and this is their sort of saving stamp, membership party stamp. It wasn't a we're going to mail something stamp, but it was to put on mailings or postings or whatever, sort of in defiance. And so this was one of the National Socialist groups that was supported to some degree outside the government, or I mean outside of Switzerland, because they continued to use the banned symbols, but it was directed towards Swiss citizens. And part of this is they used to say former members of the National Front. As in some other countries, the National Socialists were fractured around different leaders, and I don't know how. I just seen photos of them. I don't know how charismatic or uncharismatic certain ones were, but there was various fractionalization within this. Unlike in, well, if you look at potentially there were some fracture points in Germany between Hitler and Rome, or those kind of things that could have fractured even before they got in power, kind of thing. So this was what was happening in Switzerland. Various people thought they should be in charge, and there were conflicts between them. So that was part of the reason why they weren't very successful. But yes, we were going to support them. This was, like I say, one of the groups supported externally by Germany. There's other ones that they will be supporting during the war. And you have some choices coming up with that. Yeah. Get a couple more of these to pop. Well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I want to get out of the red. It's going to be a while. We got enough time on the clock. Yeah, let's see if we can sell another 20 there. This 20. And let's see if we can sell 10 to the US. I just don't want to get them so big that they feel they gotta cancel. And sometimes they cancel them because I think they're too much. Okay. Frank battles Czech police. Conrad Henlein is the part of what's Frank's? Carl Hermann Frank. Yes, this is him in his party uniform for the SDP. I'm not sure what the color is on these. I have not seen good color, either color photos or period uniforms, whether that's sort of a gray jacket or a brown jacket. You can see his party badge on there, but it is his party uniform for the SDP. And so they, at a local theater, while speaking, they battle the police. Just another provocative incident that they're doing. Frank was the extremist, where Henlein, Henlein was a Nazi, he's not there, but sort of, extreme versus regular Nazi. He was that, so Germany gains more threat because everyone knows that Germany is stirring up this trouble that they're doing, and it's a lot of manufactured trouble. Now we're already down to 4.19, 4.19 ICs. Producing one IC. Oh, good. Let's see if we have... So unless we really want to be allies, we can sell something to. Well, people I want, or countries I want to be allied with. Missing the money. They need the money, they got a deficit. Italy wants supplies. Let's see. Finland. Oh, okay. Here's Costa Rica. We can have some supplies for a little bit of money. Lost our agreement with Portugal. That'll hurt a bit. We're expanding our factories. Okay. Yep. Sounds good. The Albert Leo Stanger, another German-built training ship, like the Horse vessel. What is it? Reggae? Is it? Who's we say here? I think we do. Which class? Yeah, Roger, Bernard Roger. That's that gentleman was the commander. It was a naval training vessel. So we'll get a minor bonus in leadership for a little while for building the vessel. We don't get the vessel on the map though. I have not built training vessel units. The factory coming online. There. Let's make sure we're benefiting from the additional research. Slot there. Let's see. Go back down and go through this again. Who might want? They want to buy? No. Sell them 15. And let's see if we can buy some. Rare materials from them, just a little bit there. Yeah, let's see if they'll sell us rare materials. I know they didn't want to buy anything. Oh, good. No, they don't have any extra. Or not much. They sell us one? No. There we go. Improved relation with Japan, hopefully. And from Italy as well. Put this well back into the green there. Maybe not for money, but we're getting... Oh, okay. Finland, okay, no longer receive that. Unterseeboot Schul Flotilla. Let's see. They're popping up more or less in the right place here in Kiel for that, but This is the where it starts with the OOB currently for Black Ice, and I think Hearts of Iron is where they've inherited from. It really should be in Kiel, because it was founded in 35 in Kiel, the flotilla, and those buildings behind it I presume are the classrooms, but it was a training flotilla, a school flotilla, and we're going to rebase them over there. And it was moved to basically to Lubeck here. So it was shifted then. So yeah. So we'll take this. We can decide not to. If you're not going to be doing any or much of any U-boats, that's fine. Just you can say no. But there are some other benefits. I know it doesn't, expanding the school doesn't seem like a lot of benefits right now, but there are some. Okay, and we need to, because we're not yet out of 37, and we're going to have all these coming up, so I'm going to do the, put the schools down, because I'm do that off camera here. So I think we'll end this episode. Talked enough on various subjects. Thanks for viewing. We will be continuing again. I gotta say this, please don't forget to like the videos and post any all comments. I really want to hear from you. It improves what I'm doing, whether it's just what maps to use, but also what you're interested in, what you want to know more about, or if you think I'm talking too much about a particular topic, let me know, because if I'm boring everybody, if I'm boring you, I'm probably boring other people, and I don't intend to do that. Thanks a lot. See you next time.